Right.
Like if you see it and you go, oh, I'm not going because this.
I won't for him, but
I think I can take him.
Right.
You want to fight the you think you can.
Jay Prince attempted to use that time-honored, old-fashioned check-in technique on 50 Cent, treating him like any other rapper traveling through Houston in search of approval and a photo opportunity. However, 50 wasn't interested in any of that. He turned the entire thing around rather than kneeling down, pointed out the check-in system's flaws straight away. Respect disguised as control. Jay Prince was essentially instructed, try me if you want. The subtle tension between the bulletproof bully from New York and the silent enforcer from Houston abruptly changed into an open-fire feud. Here's the twist though. This wasn't an unexpected development. For years, that hostility has been smoldering. You have to go back in time to see why. Rap-A-Lot Records creator Jay Prince is not your typical music mogul. He serves as the street executive's blueprint. Calm, strategic, and more feared than he realized. Jay Prince is not the only person who is respected in Houston. When they say his name, they move cautiously. You're not just catching a flight when you enter his city without checking in. Your jewelry, your peace, and possibly even your reputation are all on the line.
I got out there, they showed me a lot of love. But Shreveport had the infrastructure already here. Like even the tax incentive was put. And so a lot of people have been talking about, man, he's here only because they gave him a cheap deal or something like that. The reality is there's more to that deal. Yes. Way more. They can't see it. That down. I'm spending $20 million this year anyway, in the same building that they're saying was the cheap building. Right. So find somebody else.
Here's where 50 comes into play. The one man who has dedicated his professional life to disobeying authority figures. He has been at war since the beginning. Murder Inc., Gotti, Ja Rule, and Irv G. Defiance is where the man's story begins. Furthermore, Houston would never be the location to end that run. 50 based G-Unit his entire kingdom on a single principle: don't bow to anyone. Untouchable, unbothered, unchecked, without the formalities of checking in, kissing the ring, or paying gatekeepers simply to be there. He was successful because of that mentality, but it also made him dangerous.
He was standing on that float like he was born and raised in the H.
Came to the city of Houston, but he didn't just come here to live. He has been helping out on so many causes in this city. And especially, he has been in our high schools, turning our high school students into entrepreneurs with his Unity Camp program. I've seen him firsthand. This city has been elevated because of his presence. And so today we have the honor of saying to him, he's our 2022 Grand Marshal. Give it up to Curtis 50 Jackson. Now before I call on him to speak, let me present you first a key to the city of Houston. Anywhere you go, 550 buildings, use the key.
Everyone who benefits from the game is at risk from a man who doesn't play it. It became very tight very quickly when it was rumored that 50 was relocating his base to Houston, because the song was no longer about beats or words. It was about two heavyweight egos clashing head-on over territory, pride, and power. Houston was restrained by Jay Prince. Every big name, every big move. However, 50 Cent wasn't just any old guest. He was a one-man insurrection against the entire check-in culture and a walking declaration of war. And all parties were aware that there wouldn't be any silence if this happened. You see, it wasn't simply rudeness when 50 landed in H-Town without checking in with Jay Prince. That was a declaration. A loud and clear power move was broadcast. Nor did he mutter it. He did it. It initially unfolded like a Cold War. Silent tension from coast to coast, cryptic posts, slyness and shade. 50 in New York, running his business and engaging in internet trolling as if it were a sport. As composed as ever, Jay Prince was in Houston, managing the city as if it were his rent. But as soon as 50 people sent that tweet, the quiet ended. A straightforward post that had the feel of a proclamation. The internet went crazy the next instant. Chaos, comments, and clips. Then the unexpected moment arrived. 50 on that parade float, standing tall.
Change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, is they seem to get hung up on that word checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Yeah, look, maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected. You're stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your power or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. We all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a blessing, Rip.
Turn me down. What you said? Don't turn me down. What you on, folks? Don't turn you down. Yeah, man. What you on, folks? What you mean what I'm on? What you on, man? What the deal there? What up? What up? You want to buy your shit back? What? You ain't get you flunked out ass little nigga. I'm trying to see where you at. You dumb mother. What you got? $20 out of cup? Nah, nigga. You know what we got? Nigga, stop that cap.
Man.
Nigga, capping, bro. They gonna believe anything in the nigga.
So you start my car. I just took a picture in the same car today with my little boy. You on these like y'all.
I got a call, you know what I mean, because the little homie young boy place got broke into. He went in his place, disrespected different things, and I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean, young boy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, with all that shit that they took, and the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
We got your Rolls Royce umbrellas, we got your keys, we got a bunch of other shit. So.
But 50? No, he doesn't wince. Without hesitation, he informed his men that Gunit rolls with their own. We aren't paying anyone to enter his city. For 50, respect is something you have to earn rather than something you can purchase. Additionally, he will make sure that everyone on the planet witnesses your public examination in a different manner if you approach him from the side. What came next then? According to rumors, J. Prince attempted to reach 50 using a no-fly zone. Houston does not welcome you. Smaller artists who are still vying for a seat at the table might find that kind of message upsetting. But 50 Cent? No. He is the table, and he flipped it rather than retreating. Made the entire event entertaining. Instagram went nuts. There are memes everywhere. It appeared to be a comedy special thanks to 50. As if it were an antiquated mob code, he made fun of the check-in culture. And he challenged J. Prince to react in public just to add gasoline to the flames. It was trivial. It was brilliant. It was 50% pure. But beneath all of that teasing, actual tensions were building. He had been working on a huge project behind the scenes. In Houston, a $20 million gun, movie, and television studio is planned. Employment, internships, production, and the emergence of an entire empire in the South. H-Town was on the verge of becoming a new media hub. The entire project is abruptly abandoned and relocated to Shreveport, Louisiana. 50 acted calmly in public, claimed that improved infrastructure was the key. But the truth is known to all those who are connected. Power lines had nothing to do with anything. It had to do with power plays. Houston's politics were becoming too shady and erratic. And furthermore, 50 doesn't dance with snakes. Instead, he moves the entire stage. He moves the entire empire and mows the lawn. Here's the twist, though. It seems like poetic justice in this next section. Houston had different ideas despite J. Prince's attempts to keep him out of the city. Because the city didn't simply put up with him a year after he landed. They welcomed him as if he were family.
Ain't no friends, ain't no new relationships. All it. Hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man.
If you got something for me, man, they got plenty around me. You could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you can get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Man, you man.
There in the Thanksgiving Day parade in 2022, Sylvester Turner, the mayor of Houston, gave each citizen a 50-cent key to the city. The streets roared, the crowd went wild, and cameras flashed. Mayor Turner took that mic and labeled 50 a philanthropist and an entrepreneur. He then expressed gratitude to him for using his G-Unity program to support young people. In the meantime, there was a buzzing holdup on the streets. The city is now crowning him after Jay Prince attempted to obstruct him. He was 50 years old, standing up on that parade float, grinning and waving like a Houston king or queen who had been in charge of the city all his life. And to be honest, he kind of was by that point, because this wasn't only a show, it was authentic. 50 began supporting families of all ages through his G-Unity Foundation by organizing large turkey drives, toy giveaways, school donations, and practical hands-on activities. And he wasn't by himself. He joined the Astros, Texans, and Houston Rockets. Use his Sire Spirits brand for everything. The moment was ultimately owned by the same man who was told he wasn't welcome. Just legacy, no dispute, no check-in, no permission. 50 didn't break any laws. He revised them. Because he simply constructs a bigger stage every time they try to box him out, you can't deny his game whether you like him or not. Please use the like, subscribe, and comment buttons below if you've read this far, because this is simply one more chapter in the 50 Cent story. You won't want to miss what comes next, I promise. By 2023, 50 had made Houston his home and was actively involved in it. In only 1 year, he gave more than $850,000 worth of gifts to children in Houston. Just impact, no headlines, no boasting. When 2024 arrived, he increased the strain on himself once again rather than slowing down. He raised $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity by auctioning off 2 enormous bottles of his lush Chandura champagne. Additionally, the event raised a total of $6 million, and 50 was receiving praise from celebrities, children, and city leaders.
Older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little niggas. Like, the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little niggas. Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problems.
According to reports, Jay Prince was observing from the sidelines, the same individual who used to command Houston's reverence for cash, now enjoying the sunshine while watching another boss celebrate. That must be painful. As everyone was beginning to calm down, Tony Yayo, Gun's loudest voice, interrupted and set the place on fire. Yayo explained everything in an interview with Vlad TV. He claimed that G-Unit never checked in any place for a straightforward reason. Bro, it's a scam. After checking in, you either pay or wait in line. The blueprint is that. Additionally, Yayo claims that Jay Prince's entire brand revolves around his role as Houston's purported artist protector. However, he asserted its safety was never the main concern. It has to do with control, a costly system that is phony and welcoming. Respect disguised as defense. Leverage masquerading as loyalty. It seems like simply another street tradition at first. On closer inspection, however, it is essentially glorified extortion disguised as tradition. Because there are expectations if you are an artist visiting Houston. You either stay in touch with Jay Prince and his group, or you run the risk of learning the hard way what transpires if you don't. This is where things start to become grim. The young NBA boy drew up to Houston on business. No warning, no check-in, just unwavering confidence. The next thing you know, someone hits his spot. Car keys disappeared, along with the chains and money. You can now refer to it as a coincidence. However, the streets don't think that's true. Because it's not safe when the individuals who are promising protection are also the ones you might need to be protected from. That is smiling extortion. Jay Prince then appears on Instagram as the story's protagonist, boasting about how he returned young boy stolen stuff and projecting the image of a local hero. However, he posted everything publicly like a news release rather than having a private conversation. Oh, the young boy wasn't having any of it. He instantly responded with a clap of his own and termed it a stunt, claimed that Jay Prince wouldn't be flexing for likes online like some 60-year-old clout chaser if he was genuinely attempting to assist. The truth, in all its disdain. Youngboy wasn't the only one who realized it either. Jay Prince was publicly criticized by Cameron and Matchie for continuing to attempt to play mob leader in 2025. They stated it simply, OGs up left, they are not extortionists. And frigid, as they put it, it's failure, not power if you're over 60 and still attempting to run the block rather than the boardroom. Then there is Jay Prince's reputation. On the other side, the dice games. After intimidation, this is his second favorite pastime. And additionally, these weren't your friendly weekend rolls. We're talking deep money, deep retention, and big stake setups. And furthermore, everyone in Houston already knows that the dice games seldom end in pure laughter. They end with tales, and those stories have been growing darker recently. Rumors have been circulating the industry for years that Houston's so-called dice games were more than just games. They were stage settings and setups intended to align rappers who didn't follow the rules. And Takeoff is the most tragic example of that. That night is remembered by all. The ensuing confusion, heartache, and silence. But the streets have been whispering something darker behind the headlines. Whispers claim that Jay Prince was so irate that the quote Takeoff failed to check in upon their arrival in Houston, he reportedly instructed his people to remind them, not hurt them, but to give them a lesson. But it took a left turn, way to the left, and the world lost a legend rather than a message. Following that catastrophe, Jay Prince became silent, very quiet. Just damage control, diversion, and deflection. No ownership or accountability. He seemed to find a way to sidestep the topic whenever it was brought up, stuttering during interviews, dismissing the incident as if there had been a misunderstanding. But the internet never forgets. And additionally, real people in the streets observed something different. Jay Prince essentially acknowledged destroying evidence. Evidence, indeed. Think about that. The most absurd aspect is that Takeoff wasn't the only one enmeshed in that kind of mayhem.
What do you say to that?
What I would say to that is, I have a track record, man, and the Prince family have a track record of 30 plus years of, you know what I mean, honoring and loving on our guests and being with our guests, and no shit like this never happened. But here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand. We ain't never had nobody to attack us. If you know what I mean. You know, when a man attack a situation with a weapon, then, you know, it become a playing field where, you know, any and everything go.
And Mike and Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up on the Takeoff. He had to pick him up and his fingers went in it. You know why?
Do you recall the Jeweler Duke? The young man who struck it lucky in one of those notorious dice games, went home with $100,000, perhaps believing he had struck gold. But before he could even return to his vehicle, another life was lost as shots were fired. The circle, the night, and the subsequent silence were all different. One thing continued to reverberate across it all. The value of respect is quite high in Houston. However, innocent people suffer the price when the wrong people handle the money. Robbed, ambushed, and fled, another gifted black man was suddenly removed for what? For far too long, a phony street code and a rigged dice system have been shielding the wrong people. Next to 50 Cent put it. Here, we're constructing community centers, giving toys, financing educational institutions, and generating genuine chances. No comparison can be made. The legacy of one man is being built, while the other is still attempting to control through terror. This is the section that isn't being discussed much. 50 is no longer trolling for amusement. There's a purpose behind the smirks, memes, and quips. Rumor has it that he has been secretly, methodically, and deliberately gathering receipts, conversing with people behind the scenes, making connections, and stacking evidence, since, in the opinion of insiders, the entire check-in process is about extortion rather than safety. A complete underground network masquerading as respect. Additionally, 50s have been subtly hinting that federal eyes are already on the scene lately. He doesn't play bluffs. It's chess, not checkers, when there are 50 moves. Those brief Instagram posts aren't all at random. They serve as diversions. The actual task is being done in silence, and someone's kingdom could fall apart when it comes to light. One thing is certain, regardless of whether he is constructing a case or simply getting ready for the big reveal, J. Prince's entire operation may be over with a single post, a leaked conversation, or a discreet government tip. Since every street code has an expiration date, let's face it, and the game is eternally altered the instant the incorrect man begins to play by actual rules rather than street laws. The streets may still belong to one man, but the city is under lockdown for the other, and only one of them is obviously winning the war at this time. 50 Cent took over Houston instead of only moving there. 50 was shaking hands with the mayor, standing on parade floats, and creating genuine initiatives that transform lives, while J. Prince was reportedly out here attempting to intimidate artists and show off old-fashioned terror. Ego isn't that. Impact is that. That's purposeful power. In the meantime, the entire check-in industry is faltering and appears to be on its final legs. The streets that were once silent are now resounding with voices. So who is actually in charge of Houston these days? The man with the real key to the city, or the silent street lord hiding in the shadows? You inform us. Is 50 too much, or did hip-hop's hero not even realize it was necessary? The one that ultimately reveals the negative aspects of the unwritten norms of the industry. Leave a comment with your thoughts. If you're rocking with the truth, hit the like button. Remember to subscribe as well so you don't miss the next installment. Because believe me, things just get messier from here.